Next on a BGSU Brain Game, it is Riverdale versus Eastwood. I think we better get ready for a clash of the synaptic samurai. Only one team can leave victorious. Who is it going to be? Only one way to find out. BGSU's Brain Game starts right now. And welcome to BGSU Brain Game. It is Riverdale versus Eastwood for this round. Let's meet our team, starting off with Eastwood. Tell us who you are.
I'm Logan Farnsworth. I'm a senior. To my left is Adam Stolar. He's a junior. And to my right is sophomore Avery Patchett.
All right, and get a shout out to your coach.
Our coach is Karen Smoyer.
All right, welcome to Eastwood. Riverdale, tell us who you are.
I'm Johanna Thacker. I'm a senior. To my left is David Burkowski. He's a senior. To my right is Sydney Bigford, and she's a senior.
And a shout out to your coach.
Mrs. Christy Thacker.
All right, welcome to both of our teams. We're going to start things off as we always do in our toss-up round. All questions in this round are worth 10 points. No deduction. I repeat, no deduction for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, not after. And you can steal. I repeat, you can steal a question in this round. Eastwood, Riverdale, you ready? Here we go. Cloth from the loom, wallpaper, and blocks of timber are all stored on what type of unit, equivalent to 120 feet for cloth? That would be Riverdale. David?
Spool.
Incorrect. Eastwood would like to steal. Time. We were looking for a bolt. A bolt. Give the name of the element that is the most abundant alkali metal on Earth and whose chemical symbol is Na. That would be Riverdale. David?
Sodium.
Sodium is correct. What type of organism is the cause of the common contagious disease tinea corporis? Excuse me. That would be Riverdale. Johanna?
Ticks.
Incorrect. Eastwood would like to steal. That would be Avery.
Mosquito.
Incorrect. Fungus is actually what we needed there. Fungus. To his credit, this 18th, 19th century English physicist and chemist built a primitive electric motor, made the first generator, and discovered electromagnetic induction. Who is he? That would be Eastwood. Logan?
Nikola Tesla.
Incorrect. Riverdale, would you like to steal? That would be Johanna.
Newton.
Excuse me?
Newton.
Incorrect. Faraday is who we needed there. Faraday. Name the Gothic novel told primarily through a collection of journal entries, letters, and telegrams. That would be Riverdale. David?
Dracula.
Dracula, yes. That's what we were looking for. The character that Sir Walter Scott gave to Robin Hood in this novel helped shape the modern perception of the outlaw as a noble servant of the common man. Name this novel. That would be Riverdale. Johanna?
Prince of Thieves.
Incorrect. Eastwood, would you like to steal? Time. Ivanhoe is what we needed there. Historians believe that this type of writing is the oldest form. Identify this style used by the ancient Sumerians. That would be Eastwood. Logan?
Cuneiform.
Correct. Which two-word phrase designates the ratio of the amount of water vapor present in the air at a, that would be Eastwood. Logan? Time. Present in the air at a given temperature compared to the total amount of moisture air can hold at that temperature. Riverdale, would you like to steal? That would be David.
Relative humidity.
That is what we were looking for indeed. In 1968, this escaped convict entered a guilty plea when charged with the murder of Martin Luther King Jr. Who was he? Time. James Earl Ray. In German, danke, and in Italian, grazie. That would be Eastwood. Logan.
Thank you.
You're welcome. That is the correct answer. That is all 10 questions in our toss-up round. Ooh, a very close game indeed. We have Eastwood at 20 points and Riverdale currently in the lead with 30 points. You're going to want to stick around. Our risk and reward round is coming up next. Welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Eastwood 20 points, Riverdale currently in the lead with 30 points as we go to our risk and reward round. Teams, you'll all receive the same 9 questions. They are 10 points apiece, no deduction for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, and here's the special part. The 10th question, which you both will receive the same one, is the risk and reward question. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on that question, but an incorrect answer will be a deduction of what you risked. Or you can just simply pass. Choice is yours. Eastwood, you are at 20 points. Riverdale, 30 points. That means you're sticking around. Eastwood, off to isolation you go. All right, Riverdale, you're ready for your risk and reward questions. All right, here we go. A dilettante dabbles in a field but does not really know much about it. Spell dilettante. David.
D-I-L-I-T-A-N-T.
Incorrect. D-I-L-E-T-T-A-N-T-E. All right, a member of what group killed the last Russian Tsar Nicholas II, his wife, and 5 children? Time. They were Bolsheviks. In chemistry, what name is given to the simplest whole number ratio of each kind of atom in one molecule of a substance? That would be David.
Empirical formula.
Correct. President Harry S. Truman was in office when the Cold War began. Which U.S. president was in office when this undeclared conflict ended? That would be Johanna.
Reagan.
Incorrect. George H.W. Bush. This designates a large, freestanding cabinet often used to store clothing. Spell the word armoire. That would be David.
A-R-M-O-I-R.
Time. Needed an E there. Needed an E there. Provide the name for the molecular ion whose formula is NH4. That would be Johanna.
Ammonium.
Correct. Which Shakespearean tragedy includes the line, "Something is rotten in the state of Denmark"? That would be David.
Hamlet.
Hamlet is correct. Name the 2 letters of the Greek alphabet that are found between gamma and zeta. That will be delta and epsilon. Name the Prussian-born American revolutionary military leader who was instrumental in training George Washington's troops. That will be Johanna.
Arnold.
Say again?
Arnold.
Incorrect. Baron Friedrich von Steuben is what we needed there. All right, this is the risk and reward question. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments on the topic rivers, or you can simply pass. Choice is yours.
15. 10.
10 points on rivers. After the Nile River, 2 rivers rank 2nd and 3rd in length, coming in at approximately 4,000 and 3,917 miles, respectively. Name one of them.
The Amazon?
She said it but did not buzz in. Will we accept that? The buzz in. All right, I'm sorry, we cannot accept that. We needed the buzz in first officially. All right, that is the end of the risk and reward round for you. It is now time for Riverdale to go to isolation. Sydney, if you want to lead them on out. All right, let's bring back in Eastwood. Welcome back to Eastwood. Are you ready for your risk and reward round? Starts right now. A dilettante dabbles in a field but does not really know much about it. Spell dilettante. That would be Avery.
Dillitante.
Incorrect. Dillettante. A member of what group killed the last Russian Tsar Nicholas II, his wife, and 5 children? That would be Logan.
The Bolsheviks.
Bolsheviks is correct. In chemistry, what name is given to the simplest whole number ratio of each kind of atom in one molecule of a substance? That would be Avery.
Empirical formula.
Correct, and I didn't understand any word I just said there. President Harry S. Truman was in office when the Cold War began. Which U.S. president was in office when this undeclared conflict ended?
Sure.
That would be Logan.
Truman.
Incorrect. George H.W. Bush is the answer that we needed there. This designates a large, freestanding cabinet often used to store clothing. Spell the word armoire. That will be Logan.
A-R-M-O-I-R. Armoire.
Time. Needed an E on the end of that. Needed an E on the end of that. Provide the name for the molecular ion whose formula is NH4. That would be Logan.
Ammonium.
Correct. Which Shakespearean tragedy includes the line, "Something is rotten in the state of Denmark"? That would be Adam.
Hamlet.
Hamlet is correct. Name the 2 letters of the Greek alphabet that are found between gamma and zeta. In time? Nope. Delta and epsilon is what we needed there. Name the Prussian-born American revolutionary military leader who was instrumental in training General George Washington's troops. In time? Logan.
Lafayette.
Incorrect. Baron Friedrich von Steuben is what we needed there. All right, risk and reward question. The topic is rivers. You can risk up to 30 points in 5-point increments onto this topic, or you can simply pass. Choice is yours.
We'll go for 20.
Going for 20 points. Eastwood on rivers. After the Nile River, 2 rivers rank 2nd and 3rd in length, coming in at approximately 4,000 and 3,917 miles respectively. Name one. That will be Adam.
The Amazon River.
Amazon River or the Yangtze River, we would have accepted there. All right, Eastwood, that is the end of the risk and reward round for you. It is now time to clear our scores, and let's bring back in Riverdale. All right, welcome back to Riverdale. All right, let's see where our teams stand. Eastwood, you stand at 80 points, and Riverdale currently is at 50 points. A very, very close competition still indeed. You're going to stick around because things can change very, very quickly. Our category round is coming up next, where questions are worth up to 30 points apiece, but deductions start. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game. Riverdale is at 50 points. Eastwood is at 80 points. As we move to our category round, this is where the power shifts just a little bit. There are 6 categories to choose from for our teams. And there are questions worth 10, 15, 20, 25, and 30 points. They can select any of those questions at any time. However, the deductions do start now, meaning if you go for 20, you're risking 20. But there is one double or nothing question in there that could come in handy to one of our teams. You may confer before buzzing in, not after, of course, and you can steal. I repeat, you can steal a question. All right, Riverdale, since you are at 50 points, you have the honor of choosing the first selection.
Edgar Allan Poe for 20.
Edgar Allan Poe for 20 points. With the promise of what does Montresor lure Fortunato? That would be Riverdale. David.
A cask of Amontillado.
Correct. All right. And Riverdale in control.
Poe for 15.
Poe for 15. What type of animal was responsible for the murders in the Rue Morgue, written by Edgar Allan Poe? That would be Riverdale. David?
Monkey.
Will we accept that? We cannot accept that. Eastwood would like to steal. Time. Orangutan is what we needed there. All right, Riverdale, though, you're still in control of the board.
Poe for 25.
Poe now for 25 points. What French soldier saved the prisoner from falling into the pit in the Edgar Allan Poe tale, The Pit and the Pendulum? That would be General LaSalle. Riverdale still in control.
Poe for 10.
Poe now for 10 points. In the Edgar Allan Poe short story, The Telltale Heart, where did the murderer hide? That would be Riverdale. Johanna.
Under the floorboard.
Under the floor is correct. Riverdale in control.
Poe for 30. Finish it out.
Poe for 30 points. What Edgar Allan Poe short story chronicles the 75-hour trip in Mr. Monk Mason's flying machine? The Balloon Hoax. Riverdale still in the driver's seat.
Greek mythology for 15.
Greek mythology for 15 points. Based on the given description, identify each Greek goddess. This king of Phrygia had the golden touch. Phrygia had the golden touch. That would be Riverdale. Johanna.
Midas.
Midas, yes.
Mythology for 20.
Greek mythology for 20. This is our double or nothing question, open to all buzzers. According to Greek mythology, what was the only thing which remained in the box when Pandora unleashed? That would be Eastwood. Adam.
Hope.
Hope is what was left inside. Yes, and Eastwood takes control.
Greek mythology for 25.
Greek mythology for 25 points. Who was the wife of Kronos and the mother of Zeus? That would be Riverdale. Johanna.
Rhea.
Rhea is correct. Riverdale back in control.
Greek mythology for 30.
Greek mythology for 30 points. Who was the Greek goddess of luck? Time. Tyche is what we needed there. Riverdale still in the driver's seat.
Geography, potpourri for 15.
Geography for how many?
15.
15 points. Your knowledge of geography will help you answer the questions in this category. Which of the Great Lakes is the largest body of fresh water in the world? That would be Riverdale. Johanna.
Superior.
Superior is correct. Riverdale still in control, and we are tied.
Solver. Geography.
Geography for 20.
Geography now for 20 points. Tahiti is found in which ocean? That would be Eastwood. Adam.
The Pacific Ocean.
Correct. Eastwood in control.
We'll go with geography for 25.
Geography now for 25. How many states share a border with Nevada? Time. That would be 5. Eastwood still in control.
We'll go with geography for 10.
Geography now for 10 points. In what state is the San Andreas Fault located? That would be Eastwood. Logan.
California.
California is correct. Eastwood still in control. Pulling away a little bit here.
Greek mythology for 10.
Greek mythology for 10 points. According to Greek mythology, what goddess turned men who looked at her into swine? That would be Eastwood. Logan.
Athena.
Incorrect. Riverdale, would you like to steal? That would be Sydney.
Circe.
Circe is correct. And Riverdale in control.
Solve for 15.
Solve me for 15 points. 2 non-leap years and 2 weeks equal how many days? Time, 744. Riverdale in control.
Solve me for 10.
Solve me for 10 points. If you have 4 dozen donuts, but 1 box is a baker's dozen, how many donuts do you? That would be Eastwood. Logan.
49.
49 is correct. Eastwood in control.
Solve me for 20.
Solve me for 20 points. What is the square root of 81? That would be Riverdale. Sydney.
4.
Incorrect. -10. Eastwood, would you like to steal? That would be Logan.
-1.
Correct. Let's take a look at our score. At the end of that round, we have Riverdale with 110 points. And currently in the lead with 60 more points is Eastwood. But that is a very slim margin, because coming up next is our Brainstorm Round, where each question is worth 20 points apiece, -20 for an incorrect answer. Still anybody's game. Stay tuned. And welcome back to BGSU Brain Game, a clash of the synaptic samurais, we promised, and that's what we received. We have Riverdale with 110 points, Eastwood at 170 points, still anybody's game as we move into the Brainstorm Round. In this round, all questions are worth 20 points apiece, -20 points for an incorrect answer. You may confer before buzzing in, but no stealing in this round. No stealing in this round. If by some chance we end in a tiebreaker, we will move immediately to a tiebreaker question round. You must win with a correct answer. Riverdale, Eastwood, are you ready for 3 minutes to brainstorm? Here we go. It starts right now. With which American war would you associate the Battle of Cowpens? That would be Eastwood. Adam.
Mexican-American War.
Incorrect. Revolutionary War. In Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, what is the name of Filch's cat? That would be Riverdale. Johanna.
Mrs. Norris.
Correct. The Matterhorn is situated on the border of Switzerland and which other European nation? That would be Eastwood. Logan.
Austria.
Incorrect. Italy. Which 8-letter noun that begins with an H designates one who steers a ship or boat? That would be Riverdale. Johanna.
Hiltzman.
Excuse me?
Hiltzman.
Correct. Yes. What was the title character from The Merchant of Venice from whom Shylock claims a pound of flesh? That would be Riverdale. Johanna.
Willie Noman.
Incorrect. Antonio. Identify the mountain range located in the western Mongolia that is home to the 5 peaks of That would be Eastwood. Adam.
The Himalayas.
Incorrect. Altai Mountains is what we needed there. Which pipe-shaped tube in the human body is the transport path of food moving from the... That would be Eastwood. Avery.
Esophagus.
Correct. The word flora describes all the plants of a region, while which companion? That would be Riverdale. Sydney.
Fauna.
Correct. Identifies the animals. During which decade of the 20th century was the Environmental Protection Agency established? That would be Riverdale. Johanna.
1970s.
Correct. What type of animal cells provide energy as well as insulation? Riverdale, Johanna.
Fat.
Correct. Under which leader did Rome burn in approximately that would be Eastwood, Adam.
Nero.
Nero is correct. What kind of scientist studies prehistoric plants? That would be a paleobotanist. During Prohibition, what name was given to establishments that sold illegal whiskey? That would be Riverdale. David?
Speakeasies.
Correct. Give the name of the automobile part whose purpose is to lessen the noise of combustion. That would be Eastwood. Avery?
A muffler.
A muffler is correct. What country borders Israel to the north? That would be Riverdale. Johanna?
Jordan.
Incorrect. Lebanon. That is the end of the round. Let's take a look at our score. What a close competition indeed. Eastwood 170 points, and our winner with 190 points is Riverdale. Let's give both these teams a big round of applause. In the spirit of sportsmanship, let's come around, meet in the middle, shake hands. We'll see you at the next BGSU Brain Game. Come on out, everybody.